Up and dog them up and kick them up, we can understand. If one of their own is treated with the same level, not impunity, but like with such barbarism.
Yes, sir. And it goes, with you if you don't have a family member in the job that care for your well-being, or if you're not intimately involved with somebody in the job, or if you're not of a rank and file service. I mean, that's just how it is. You suffer the consequences.
How old were you in the job at that time?
I think I was about 32.
No, I mean in terms of years of service.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was maybe like 9 years service, 9 to 10 years service.
An officer
Thing.
in the Jamaica Constabulary Force assigned
Yeah,
to the training school.
Yes, sir.
You went to investigate a matter at another police station, and you went in your uniform. You have on your police clothes.
Yes, sir.
So you're a policewoman. You
Yes.
go down there. You're Babylon.
Right.
Go talk to other Babylon about an issue that have to do with your property.
But because of my rank as a district constable, that's how I was classified, and that's how I was dealt with.
So therefore, you are really way below,
Yes,
not just pay grade, but way below their standards. So as far as I'm concerned, how dare you to speak to them like that?
Very well, sir.
So how did the matter resolve? Where did you go from there?
Sir,
You went on suspension.
I went on suspension for 4 years. So for 4 years, I was
So what happened in the first year of your suspension?
I was going to court, St. Catherine Resident Magistrate Court, and it was a case where every month when I was supposed to go to court, the police officers never showed up, or they're missing, or they would come to court late, and my case was solved. I must tell you, sir, my attorney then, Vincent Leslie, I respect him very much. He has never missed
A court date.
He gave me the assurance that he's there for me. When I needed the police force, like the chaplaincy branch of the JCF, that like
You're supposed to be counseling and getting
support well-being. No, they were never there. Nobody has ever showed up at my court.
Was your matter reported to the department so that you could get this kind of a counseling and kind of immoral and support?
It was just shiv under the table. It was not.
What advantages and areas did this matter was first reported to? So we can see whether
I went to Indicom, and then they said to me that because we are both serving members, I have to go to then Inspectorate of Constabulary. I'm not sure their name now.
But we don't have to call the name, but yeah.
I went to that department in the system, and they took my report, and it was thrown under the table. It was placed in file 13 for 5 years.
So for 5 years you were there and nothing happened. The matter just never surfaced?
No, sir. And I saw the police officer, the investigator that had my case, in a wheelchair in the airport in 2022, 2023, I think. And she said, I know your face. I said, yes, you were the one that threw away my case note, my report. She said, you know what? They had came down on me to throw it away. So that's why
they
confessed to me.
Confessed to you.
That
she had to dump the file, literally, for want of a better term, because the rest of the hierarchy came down on her.
Yes, sir. So my case, justice was not served on my behalf.
So you changed lawyer? Did you have to change lawyers?
No, I did not. I did not, because like as I tell you before, Mr. Wellesley, he has been there. He has been the tower of strength through my 4 years of going to court.
But he was not able to go anywhere with the matter because he was not able to see anybody.
He was my defense attorney. But to say take up the case like a cross-examination, he was not able to do so because
the matter never went to trial.
It went to trial.
It went to trial?
Yes, sir. For 4 years. It went to trial. And he and my doctor, Dr. Banjoka, they came to court and they testified on my behalf. And one of the police officers that was involved in the incident, he told the court that he was being used by the other 3 officers to go against me, but he cannot go against me because he remember when he was in training, and I was there for him, and I'm not a bad police officer.
So how did the court resolve the matter? You say it's still not resolved?
It is resolved. It is resolved in 2022, but this is how my case was thrown out of the court, or dismissed, for a better word. Their evidence, their testimonies was inconsistent. 3 police officers give inconsistent test
as it really, so what really took place and
yes,
how it
sir. And
led
if
to.
I did beat up 4 police officers, if I did create a scene in the station, and that's when the case was dismissed by the judge. The judge said, based on the inconsistency in the case, I find you not guilty.
And you
Me not guilty.
and they got, but then any compensation out of the police department?
So
Did the judge, you know, or
so in the process of being when I tried to get compensation
the
for damages,
compensation? Yeah.
I hired this attorney, Nigel Jones.
You don't want to call his name.
I want to call his name because he's very wicked.
What do you mean by that? You can back up that statement?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He took my 200,000 Jamaican dollars and did not take my case to court.
You mean him take your money and never take the case?
I applied. I retained the service of his office.
You got a receipt for the money?
Yes, sir. I transferred via NCB because you know it's a lot of money, so I wanted to do the online transfer to have accountability for the money. And I retained his office to represent my case of a lawsuit against the JCF. And for 1.5 years, my file was at the office and it was being transferred between 4 different attorneys at the same office.
You mean his legal practice?
His legal practice.
Yeah.
And then they said, oh, we have a lot of cases to dealt with. We're going to attend to your case. And it was like that for like 1.5 years. And I kept on sending email back and forth, and nothing was forthcoming from him. And when I reached out, I said, listen, may I have my money that I would have paid your practice to represent me?
And nothing
He sent me a letter that he sent to the commissioner, and they had like, I think it was 30 days or 45 days to respond to the letter, and they did not. And my case has not brought to the Supreme Court for a lawsuit against the JCF for damages that they would have done towards me.
So no, so right now you're still waiting a response from the JCF and from him?
Sir, it has been 2 years
Mm-hmm.
and I've not gotten any communication from him about my money. He told me that I owed he should, like, the fees that he would have used to like write the letter was like 100,000 to write a letter to the commissioner, and my case just stopped. I've not gotten anything from him. My case don't go to the Supreme Court nor anything at all.
And you have not heard any response from him
I-
as it relates to
I went
a response from the commissioner of police
No,
office?
sir. No, sir. They were willing to have a mediation with me.
With the commissioner of police's
The
office?
office.
Yes.
That's what, based on the communication and correspondence from them. But because Mr. Nigel office was being reluctant to communicate further with me, apparently they sent me an email and CC the office on it. And when I responded to the email, the commission office was in the email. And because of what I said in the email, I think that's where everything come to a halt.
What do you mean by what they say? Because you implicated the commissioner of police's office in a conspiracy to not satisfying your demands?
No, because the office of Nigel Jones and Company, they were being reluctant to respond to my email and communicating with me to tell me the nature and the fact.
How far the thing reached,
Right.
etc.
And I said, I don't want your office to further represent me. Please refund me the funds and I will seek
Legal services and
elsewhere.
protection.
And because of that, I think the commission office had come to a halt to not proceed with
So they were not waiting to hear if you get a new lawyer or something like that.
precisely, sir. But I lost. I think the time is out of statute. I think it's like 5 years you have been statute to file a case or something pertaining to restitution from
The constabulary force.
right. Not only that, but
But government agency
yes, overall.
overall. What can really go so? Did you hear what she just said? Did you understand how she gave you a chronological little breakdown of the ordeal that she suffered
Yes.
and why she suffered it and by whom she suffered it from? At the hands of members of her whole professional colleagues.
Yes, the service that is for good.
The people who commit themselves and take a oath to serve and protect.
Yes, sir.
And it becomes a part of a conspiracy of, it's so corrupt.
Very.
It is so corrupt. So how are you seeking, what did that do to your person, to you as an individual, as a person?
Listen, sir, I find reassurance. I just I just look at it as a stepping stone in my life
Mm.
because sometimes in order to get where you're going, you have to have mishaps, downfall, detour, setbacks for you to know your purpose. So you just keep going forward and keep going on your journey. And whatever obstacles that may come, I said grace will take me through it. And I just find the assurance in acts of service to people.
Where was the police federation in all of this?
They were okay. They told me that they can't assist me, even though I was paying dues to the organization. They said that they have a lot going on and they can't take on my case.
The
Mind you,
federation
the police
that's
federation.
supposed to be helping to
Okay, they were
look about the
I will
interest
not
of
call.
its members.
Yes, sir. I will not call this officer name, but there's a particular member that was there. I don't think he's there anymore. When I was trying to um I'm looking for the word reenlist.
Mm-hmm. You decided to
Reinstate.
try to re-enlist?
No, reinstate.
Reinstate,
Right,
yes.
that's the word. When I was trying to reinstate after my court case completed,
Mm-hmm.
he told me that I said, "Hey sir, can you make a phone call to the commission office and all those places for me to get reinstated?" He said, "So I can beg you some? Beg you some of what?" That's
Hold
the
on, hold on, hold
culture.
on, hold on.
That's the culture.
The police federation,
Yes,
who's supposed to be part of your defense
yes, sir.
as an officer, they're
Because
supposed
I'm
to look
paying
at the
my
welfare,
because I'm
plus
paying
you're
my
a paid
dues.
Jews member, I can't remember,
Yes, sir.
of the federation.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. The corruption is beyond the boundary.
Beyond the boundary, sir.
And this police, what level of officer was he? Was a vice
I don't want
president?
to say. I don't want to
Was he a president or vice
I don't
president?
want to say because it's going to narrow down to one people, but he was in good standing.
And him, I ask you to give him some of the something before
So
he
we
can
can get
investigate and deal with your case.
Yes, sir. I would have gone to the office, the commission office now to check on my file.
Yes.
And they
No, but
said
to the commissioner's office now,
the general office.
the general office. That time, who was the commissioner at the time now? Anderson?
Yes, Major Anderson.
Yes.
I think so, yes.
Yes.
It's in 2023. So I think
Yes.
so. And they said, "You're not going to get back the job.
Why?
DC want back to work after you go down at the station and beat up 4 policemen." So that was the stigma, or that has always been the stigma that surrounds
So you are the baddest woman in town.
in town.
You better than Trinity and all the rest of
Yes,
people that when it came to us by police.
yes, sir.
You are
I'm
the
not,
street constable.
Mr. Adams is not bad like me in their
The
mind,
eyes.
in their eyes. Yes, I went to the station and beat up 4 policemen, and there's no way I can be reinstated in the job. And they have a little saying that say, "Cast your bread upon the water, and many day you find it."
Mhm.
I went to the HR department
Mhm.
and I went to somebody and I said, "Sir, I need your help. I don't think I want to stay in the job, but I need your help. I want to get my compensation for the 4 years I've not worked."
Mhm.
And he said, "Mr. Michael, I remember the days when I usually walk to Offa Tree Road from the towers, and I had no car at the time, and you gave me a couple rides.
Mhm.
And what do you want me to do for you?" I mean, my heart was blessed because
Mhm.
I'm saying this is a different atmosphere
Mhm.
from everybody that telling you, "Give me a little of your sweetness for me to help you somewhere
Mhm.
in the organization, for me to do something for you." And that was like a different atmosphere for me. And that's how comes I got reinstated and then I got paid within a month and just leave. When I left Mr. Tenny, I thought all was well. They were looking for me to charge me internally
For what?
according to their court of inquiry policy. Whenever a member is charged externally by the court of the charged criminally,
Yes.
and they win their case and they resume work, they now do an internal departmental charge where you go to orderly room and they file you and it's placed on your file as long as they serve it in the organization.
That means you won't get promotion and you won't get anything because
So you're
internally they're not going to turn you down.
very much, sir.
The program is Tenny Live. We're here in our studios here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I'm speaking with Miss Smikle, a former member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, that august body of people that commit themselves and take a oath to serve and protect. And them already serve her as a member of the organization.
Yes, sir.
And definitely there was no protection because she was treated just like a common criminal
Yes,
outside there.
worse than a criminal.
Or worse than a criminal.
Yes.
She was held and beaten by members of the
Mhm.
office and then them lie that she beat a 4 policemen. Now, why would this one woman beat a 4 policemen?
Exactly, sir.
It's just like you said, the man was in his bed and the police went into the room and then he drew for a gun and he had to get shot. No, if the man can't go through the window and the door and 4 or 6 police come inside that room, why that idiot? Which idiot in the world, not even Donald Trump, would be so stupid to be able to take a gun from under your pillow to defend yourself against the police?
Exactly.
Where does that make sense? What can go so? So how are you dealing with healing and mending? Because that was more than a roller coaster ride for you,
Very much.
emotionally, psychologically, and the kind of embarrassment that caused to you and your peers and everybody else.
Sir, you know, I'm being very honest with you. Nothing in my life let me feel so broken
Mhm.
like them
Mhm.
doing injustice to me. I think like they took a part of me that even when I do therapy,
Mhm.
it can't mend. You know, you something break and you literally do welding for it to come back together.
And it just won't.
It just not coming back together. There
How long were you in therapy for?
for like 2 years. But I find, I don't know why I feel emotional, but I find little things to do to kind of take my mind and to know that good still reign in me. I
Mhm.
serve good purpose. When I moved away and moved to the States, you know that, Mr. Tenny, can I tell you that even when I was on suspension and going through my court case and my salary was not there, I had like bills to pay, mortgage and all that. Only the good Lord helped me.
Mm.
The people that I thought would be there for me, they were looking for help.
The whole of them become a shadow.
Yeah. And they're trying to take as well from me. And you know that while I was going to court, um, Mocha was doing investigation on me. Mocha.
Mocha,
Yes,
the
sir.
same agency
Protect.
that you reported for defense and protection.
Yes, sir. Was doing investigation on me, checking my bank account. Somebody at the bank told me. Because I have like properties that I, rent and get money from the business.
That you know how to find another means of
No,
living.
I always have it going on
Mhm.
while I'm serving, but
Mhm.
there are paper trail for every money that I would have,
Mhm.
have in my possession and stuff like that. And they were doing investigation on my account. I have a home that the tenants there for 5 years. They
Mhm.
don't know nothing about me other than my name because we both signed a lease agreement.
Mhm.
And they went there to ask them how much I'm paying, how much they're paying for rent, how much they're if they know that I'm a police, I'm on suspension. At one point I didn't want to use my personal phone. So I had a car that I was running taxi from Ocharias to Spanish Town.
Mhm.
They are good people. You know what the police officers did? Go out at the stand and tell the police, the loader man and the taxi people to terrorize me. I start having hey,
You're not serious.
I start
Them
having
didn't go stoop that low and get so petty.
sir, sir, I start having hell at the stand. All along, I was being treated like a princess. Yes, this is a professional woman. We don't know her from nowhere, but we heard that she's a police officer and she just come to just get a little change and keep it moving. And you do your 2 trips down to Ocharias, go
Mhm.
down to Ocharias, do your 2 trips, come back up, and that's it for the day. When the police officers told them, and the loader man said, those people tell us to get police to take away your car, not giving no passenger. They took away my car out there, and then a police officer actually fight at the stand.
Mhm.
He pulled his fireman, me and I pulled my fireman. I drove away, and I drove down to Mandela Park and back up my car and in bike and all kind of stuff. I thought that they were okay. They went to NHT to get my house taken away from me. To tell NHT that I'm renting
Then
my home.
they stooped that low and was so vindictive.
Very vindictive. They were not satisfied. You know what they did? They went to the embassy in Jamaica,
The U.S.
the
Embassy.
US embassy, to get my visa canceled. I don't, again, I told you, the proverb said, cast your bread upon the water, and many days you find it. I was going to a prominent church in Kingston, and there was this lady that fall at the church one time, and everyone in the church was laughing at her and stuff. But I took her up, brush her off, and I said, "Hey, you want to go home and stuff?" And I assisted her, and by my little act of kindness and gesture to her, she took her son to the church and pointed out me to her son and said, "You see that lady over there? She helped me one time.
Mhm.
She was the one who helped me and take me home in the hills." Sir, when I went to the embassy now to start out my business, guess who came to me and tell me that the police camera pitch up there to get my visa cancelled?
What you police actually spend the time that government is paying them and taxpayers paying them for to go to
Yes.
the embassy.
Yes.
So why were
Not the police officers that are assigned to the embassy, or
no
the
no
ones
to
that
other
patrol,
police
are the
patrol?
one that patrol out the gate, not those ones. So when those ones that are assigned up there and see me at the front, what you do the police officers? I see they come up here trying to interrogate people, the system to get your visa cancelled. I'm like, what? Sir, I was living in fear while having my court case going on, while going through the motion of the court and wondering what's next. I'm walking and I'm looking to see if somebody gonna harm me. That's how bad it was.
But you managed to survive. So
Yes, sir.
you are resilient.
Yes, sir.
You're a strong woman.
A very strong.
Not very young woman at that time would be able to go through and have that,
Yes, sir.
be able to maneuver
Right.
through all of that.
Yes.
So I get a hold of, you have to get a hold of this book. You have to find a way on Amazon. It's on
Yes,
Amazon.
yes, sir. Or my website, donsmikle.online.
DawnSmikle.online. It
Yeah.
says Grace Beyond Brokenness.
Healed by grace, empowered by purpose.
So this is a composite
Yes, sir.
of the journey that you have been on
Mm-hmm.
and the various means by which you try to find substance,
Yes.
sustenance, to find ways to just to be able to hold yourself together.
Yes, sir.
'Cause you could have gone mad, you could have gone berserk, you could have done
I'm
everything
telling
else.
you, I was suicidal.
As I went through the various chapters, they were like a tapestry of your various emotional experiences at different times,
Yes, sir.
where you speak about, you know, loneliness. You speak about moments of like nightmares
Yes.
that you experience.
Yes, sir.
You went back through, or you compare some of what you experienced with that journey, with your own personal journey
Yes.
as you grew up. Because again, you did not have a very beautiful,
Not at all.
not at all. You had a broken home. You had a situation whereby your mother was like a terrorist in your life.
Both parents
Your father was a dog,
without
for want of a better word, based upon what the content of the book says and the kind of experience that she has
Yes.
outlined and illustrated in this book. And you will have to get it to read the kind of a mud and dirt and grime that one young woman, all because of ambition,
Yes, sir.
all because of ambition, had
So,
to suffer and go through.
so I have it in stores too. It's at the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston.
Mhm,
It's at Brand Book Street as well in Kingston, half a tree at the Springs Plaza.
mhm.
And I also have it at Great House Pharmacy in Uchirias and Spanish Town Center Pharmacy.
And the book carries your upbringing from
My
St. Mary,
from
from
Stony Hill.
Stony Hill. Yes. And the kind of a journey that you had there.
Right. And not only for me, but how people, women, men,
Mhm,
individuals overall should live
mhm,
and never settle for the things that come to them that doesn't mean value in their life.
mhm.
How they should push beyond their brokenness, how they should see themselves and not how people see them, but have that value in you, have that confidence in you that, listen, I am not just living and walking because Mr. Miller tell me that I am beautiful. Inside me, I am beautiful. I preserve. I'm purposeful in everything that I do. I portray goodness.
Mhm.
There's confidence in me. I am not just living because I want to be pitiful because of what I've been through, but because grace allow me to live beyond my brokenness. I'm just going. I'm flourishing. I'm expanding. I'm growing.
What was your first encounter with God in a real way?
When I was at Maxfield Park Children's Home, Maxfield Park Children's Home,
Yeah.
I was left at the Spanish Town police station by my mom
As a child, as a
as
baby.
as a child,
Mhm,
and I was placed in Glenelg Place of Safety.
mhm. Yes, Glen Police of Safety.
Yes, sir.
And what happened? You were there for how long?
I was there for like 12 years.
At Glen Hope?
Yes, between Glenelg and Windsor Girls Home in St. Anne.
Said your mother just left you there and then she gone
And
and
then you
should
know,
have business with you after that?
no, sir. But you know what good comes from it? There's this lady, Dr. Winklet Gallimore. She's a professor at UA. She came at the home and saw good in me, and she has been my tower of strength from then. And even when I left and resort to St. Anne, she always travel like monthly to come there to, like spend a day with me, spend some time and give me that assurance that she care, like she's a mother, that she care for me.
Those are people you dedicate this book to because of the kind
Yes,
of
sir.
commitment and attention and love.
Yes, sir.
My conversation here is with Dawn Smikle. Dawn Smikle is the author of this book, Grace Beyond Brokenness. And she has been broken in so many pieces that I don't know how she managed to be able to find anything to be here today. I mean, because when you think she was shattered and battered and bruised, she has faced so many slings and arrows. And, she's making so many parts that she now lives almost with what you call an iambic pentameter. When I want to put my mark, dum. That is how she is. But she's effervescent when you see her. She has so much confidence in herself and in terms of where she's going, and she's not done yet. But before you go, and you understand, you're studying for a master's.
Yes, I'm doing cybersecurity.
Cybersecurity.
Yes, I have a legal studies, and now I'm doing cybersecurity.
Listen, we could go on. This is just part one of a two-part interview. We're going to be to talk more about the book, her growth, and her development when we meet again. This is Tenny Miller coming to you live from the studios of Flex FM. Listen, stick and stay, don't go away. We're going to a commercial break. We have to pay some bills, and then we'll come back after this.